Hey, it's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Kind of weird, it was Women's Day yesterday. Holiday in South Africa, so kind of feels a bit weird today that it's Thursday. It kind of feels like a Monday. What do I want to speak to you today about? I guess really about women and the relationships of deepening into trust and really coming back into what our grandmothers knew as the red tent and the wisdom of sisters that are actually holding each other in that sort of circle of love. I really felt this deeply today. Hi Sarah. I was on a shoot with one of my clients at shooting a front cover. She's an incredible stylist for women on a mission, and the energy was just really funky when we walked in there. There was just so much barriers up between her clients and the people shooting the shoot, and it was very uncomfortable. Oopsie, it says my battery's gonna go. So I'll try and make this quick. Hi Violet, nice to see you here. But it brought up a lot of old stories for me, a lot of old energy of how women can't celebrate other women, and how, you know, it's just like, just because one woman is shining doesn't mean that there is not enough shine to go around. You know, if you're an apple trees know just to keep bearing as much fruit as they can and be the best apple tree in that they possibly can. There's no comparing or shaming or blaming or cutting down. And you know, I know there's a saying that says, you know, if you're too tall, if you're too big for your boots, tall poppies get cut down. And it hurts me. It really pains me to see this going on in this time and in this day and age where we need to return to our hearts. We need to return to trust. Hi, Maria. Nice to see you. Therese. Nice to see you all here. But this thing that I see all the time with women that are telling me that they just feel like something's missing in their lives, that they just don't feel like they're there yet, wherever there might be. Hi, Brian. And I want to know from you, if you're a woman, or Brian, you're a man. But comment down below what your awareness is on what it is with women, that no matter where they are or how much they've achieved or how much money they have or how gorgeous their lives are or their homes or their kids or their partners, they just never quite feel complete. Like they never feel like they're enough. And when I see women in my practice, it's just like they can't quite put their finger on it. And even though, you know, I was one of those women 16 years ago that looked like I had it all together, everything looked great on the outside, but on the inside it was slowly dying. And I see this with women all the time. They just lose the joy of why they're doing what they're doing in the first place, or they're exhausted, or they're numbed down, or they're just like asking themselves, you know, is this all there is? Is this it? And underneath this longing, there's just this deep desire to know that they matter, that they've made a difference, that their lives matter. And these women that I get to work with every day, that we have the same thing in common. You know, we're not trusting that we're enough. And as women, we are so unkind to each other a lot of the time. And the problem that I see is that it comes from this place where most of the time we don't know how to trust that we're complete. And this often comes pre 7-year-old, and I'm not saying blame your parents, but most women don't get that trust is the only way to feel complete, to just trust that you're enough. Hi, Anjana. So, you know, this is a question that I was asking again today when we were driving back from what turned out to be an incredible photo shoot and a wonderful experience, a new new contribution. And it is, what do you need? You know, what is feeding your joy? Is it creativity? Is it connection? Is it community? I know I want more co-creators that are going to bring more joy and ease into connections and a lightness into the greater communities, and to stop this separation sickness that's killing us. You know, I want that. I don't know about you. Good, Anjana, I'm glad. But Yeah, so, here I was with this amazing woman today that is brilliant at reading people's bodies. She has an eye for color. She has an ability to tap into people's unique 3 signature style and dress them from the inside out to tap into that beauty and be seen, because we all want to be seen and valued and witnessed and held in that space that is safe, that is celebratory, and with other women more than anything more, because that's how we grew up in tribe. That's how wild women light their own fires, and we need to be expressing this. Otherwise we die very, very slowly, little by little. This is how we lose trust, little by little by little. And I know that if you're listening to this, I know that you know a woman like that, or maybe you were a woman like that, or maybe you are that woman that seems to have it all on the outside, but there is this inner longing, and there is this place of distrust that's depleting you. And not only that, it's isolating you from your truth and your joy and your soul's calling and your life force, and probably the truth of who you want to be with in your life and what your boundaries are. And we've lost our trust and our capacity to show up in love like there is no tomorrow, haven't we? A lot more than not. And it comes at a cost. It comes at a high cost for some women. And that's where I see people throw up their hands and just go, you know what? The risk is too much. And like what happened this morning when we arrived on the shoot, and the defenses were up, and it was very antagonistic, and it felt very cruel. It felt very unkind. Being on the receiving end of that, there was a part of me that was very afraid to upset the apple cart. And that little voice, that little girl in me wanted to just run away and hide, or go and find out what was wrong with me and what did I need to fix, or maybe I must just rearrange everything around this, because it just felt so bad. And I had to really sit with that child part and stop living in the old story and hold myself in that to look at how can I create a different experience out of this, not just for me, but for everybody. And that's my question for you today is, where are you perhaps dimming down or feeling like you're not enough? Hi, Nolene. Or, maybe you're feeling like you're giving yourself up, or cutting parts and pieces of you up, literally divorcing your soul from your heart to fit in or not be rejected or not be judged. What is it going to take for you to turn yourself on again and light yourself up, even if it pisses other people off? And this is where I'm so deeply, deeply in appreciation of you all being here. And also for our great-great-grandmothers that were the witches that never got burned, so that we can be the ancestors to show the future children how to return to love and trust that they're enough. Because we have been conditioned and beaten out of us for centuries that we're not allowed to be full of ourselves, that we're not allowed to show up in our vitality and our beauty and create this ripple effect of love out in the world, because we're afraid of getting shut down. And it's time to change that. I'm tired of being the good girl. I'm tired of seeing women standing down because they're told that when they dip in the well, we're setting our bar too low, or being judged as the worst of the feminine, that we're hellcats and tarts and bitches, or whatever you've been called. I've been called all of it. But, when we show up and we start to express ourselves, we turn people on, right? The people that get turned off for that are not aligned with you and your truth. And don't give yourself up, please. We're supposed to turn ourselves on. We're supposed to turn other women on. Other women that are willing and brave enough to stand in their power and return to trust and push those heart barriers down and be vulnerable. This is how we love our children. This is how we love and show up in celebration or in grief with other women. And this is the way that we lift the energies up. Your beauty is eternal, and yet you don't trust that it's enough. You have more than enough. There is no shortness of light on the planet, I'm so glad, Lisa. Yeah, the only way through all that crap is through love. It's on the tip of your tongue. It's gentle. It's quiet. And sometimes it's fierce medicine, but don't give up your truth. Turn back to trust. It's the only way, and it's the greatest teacher. It teaches us our humility. It teaches us to love past people that are judging and considering that you're too much or too loud or too big. That's that limitless space where we turn ourselves on and we be outrageous and audacious and in our truth and unstoppable so that other women can do the same. Because this fixing and this not enough and being incomplete and being run down, it's not okay anymore. And I want to stand with women. I am standing with women who value that. And we need to grab onto that and love it back into existence, into the life we want and deserve, and give other women permission to do the same. So I invite you, join me. When you finish listening to me, please pick up the phone. Go phone your mother. Go and phone that friend that you haven't spoken to and tell her how much you love and appreciate her. You know, everyone on the planet learned those basics. Please, thank you, I'm sorry. And this is how we lead women into a new frequency that is about love and trust. So go do that. And then go let your wild woman out tonight. Go play. Go get paint all over yourself. Go dig in the dirt. Go have orgasmic sex with your partner. Because you ask for it. Allow yourself to look at what are you hungry for that you are willing to look for wood to and ask for today. You know, we have to return to trust. Devote yourself to that. Trust yourself so that other people can trust themselves. Okay? I'm getting really intense about this because it matters to me. And you know, Maya Angelou, which is one of the greatest women that has left a legacy for us, and she says, you alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anyone. And I always said, you have nothing to prove and you have nothing to hide. Because at the core of shame, you're not trusting yourself. If you are cringing, listening to any part of what I've said today, I know what that feels like. I believed I wasn't trustworthy. I believed that I was not enough. And I have to constantly practice witnessing the parts of me that I still believe are bad, that I'm a bad person, that I'm too competitive or too selfish or too loud or too strong in my feelings. And look at where I'm judging myself and bring love to those parts. And I encourage you to do the same. You know, today was another typical example of a part of me thinking, I'm a bad person. I'm not enough. I'm being a bitch. And that part of me needed to die again today. And it will continue to have to do that every time I go back into distrust. That I'm not bigger than my old stories. That I am a good person. That I'm a caring person. That I'm a trustworthy person. And so are you. And this is where our brain is so beautiful. It is plastic. And when we start to bring attention to where we're out of trust and out of attunement, and we bring love to those parts, and we trust like nothing else on the planet, this deep loving, that we're trustworthy and we're lovable, and we get active in the truth of that, we wake up out of the trauma, out of the incompleteness, and out of the distrust and fear about being abandoned or judged or rejected. Be a mirror to that. Bring love to the parts that are afraid, because that conditioning is deep. But the more we practice to return to trust, the more we start to create new neural pathways in our brain. And it is so accessible, and it's time now. So say I love you to the parts out loud, and then go and say I love you to the woman that you haven't, that need reminding, and bring that into every moment and minute of your life, into politics, into your school playground parking lot when you're waiting for your kids, into your organizations. You know, it's there, and it's up to us to choose that first. And we have to soften and love ourselves into that. And start with a smile. That relaxes your nervous system. It takes you out of fight and flight and back into tend and befriend. So just smile into your heart and light up that into other people and places and spaces and organizations that so need that loving awareness that is within every single one of us right now. And that is my prayer today, is may we return to that trust and that peace of mind and that knowing for everyone and everything. That is what I'm asking today. And I'm so grateful that you showed up on this Facebook Live with me today. And I'm so grateful for the women that showed up today and reminded me to look at the parts, the shadow, and do the work and love the parts that I did not trust were safe to show up in that environment, and smile into that love to change it and have an outcome that was greater than me and was greater than what was happening. That's how we get to change the world, is bring that love back into trusting that you are so lovable. So go do that. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and post me comments and questions below, or just reach out and tell me you touched somebody, and just let yourself get attuned in witnessing that for yourself, and ask yourself, what is it that brings up love for you? What is it that brings up distrust for you, so that you can trust that true love and gentleness and wisdom back into you? Okay? So just feel into that as I feel and appreciate you. And I love that there's some men here. Hi, Craig. You know, you are the sons of mothers that went through persecution and judgment as well. So I'm honored that I have sensitive, open-hearted, kind, caring men within this tribe as well. And I appreciate all of you. Hi, Khaled. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. The sun is going down, and there's mystery around us all the time. So tap into truth, tap into vulnerability. Just see your own goodness in that, and just trust that who you are is the love that the world requires of you right now. And when you trust that, other people get to trust themselves, and we get to change everything. Just see your own goodness, and just see if it's possible to choose to look to the innocence of you that loves and cares and always has about others without giving yourself out. Go into the wonder of your child part that knows and recognizes the trust and the love in others within you, because we are the mirror for others just as they are the mirrors for us. So go treat yourself well, tread gently on yourself. The energies are intense right now, and it's bringing up all the shadow stuff so that we can transmute it into these higher vibrational frequencies of kindness and love and vulnerability and bravery, and unlearn all this patterning and conditioning that's turned us away from love and closed us down to trust. So trust the goodness in you. Now I'm just rambling, but who would you be if you could trust the beauty and the love and the kindness that lives through you? How would your life transform? Post it in the comments and let me know. And just take a few full breaths right now, and just know I love you, I honor you, I celebrate you, and I see you. And it is a privilege to walk by your side. And rise, sister, rise into a place of kindness and love and trust. All right. I'm rambling. Bye.